Hi, I'm Kaylee, and today I'm going to tell you about some of my favorite books that have animal characters. So these are books that have all the main characters, or at least most of the main characters, are animals who probably wear clothing and speak and talk and have jobs, and they're animal characters, not just, they're sentient animals. They are anthropomorphized animals. I have 10 animal character books to talk about today, and then maybe a couple of honorable mentions. The first one is Redwall, and I love the Redwall series. There's 20-something books in this series. Most of the time, the main character is some kind of mouse. These books are about Redwall Abbey, where a lot of different types of creatures, mice and birds and hedgehogs and, oh goodness, I can't even remember them all, otters and what else? I can't even think of all the different creatures. Let's see, hares, there's all kinds of different woodland creatures who all come to Redwall Abbey to live in peace and harmony. But then of course there are evil characters who come in and try to steal from the Abbey or take over the Abbey in some way, and our heroes have to rise up and defend the Abbey. The thing I really love about these books is they're full of puzzles and legends and codes and history and legendary swords and a little maybe bit of magic. The next one is the Mantle Chronicles. This series follows mainly one young squirrel, and there is a prophecy surrounding his birth. And there is this island kingdom of animals, and there is the prophecy that the king will one day return to sit on the throne of Mantle. There's a lot of adventure and legends in this one as well. It is sort of similar in the main themes and everything to Redwall a little bit, but it has its own magical flavor. The thing I really love about Mantle is all of the close relationships between the characters and how they all sort of band together to fight against evil. There are also a lot of really great mysteries and mystical happenings and legends and prophecies and stuff in the Mantle Chronicles. Probably at the top of this list should be Narnia. The Chronicles of Narnia by C.S. Lewis has a lot of sentient animal characters. Now there are also, human characters as well, and a lot of magical, mystical beings. What I love about the animal characters is they have very long memories and a lot of history that they remember from Narnia. They're very steady characters, and they tend to be the ones with the wisdom and the knowledge that the human characters need to succeed on their adventure. Next, we have the amazing, the wonderful Watership Down. This is about a group of hares and rabbits who are thrown out of their home, and so they go traveling through the countryside to find a new home. But they have wars with other rabbits. They actually meet some rabbits who are kept in captivity by a farmer, and they try to help those to escape. There's a lot of mystery and adventure, and there's just so much that happens in this book. And I love that the hares have their own culture and their own system of religious beliefs and myths and their own history. It's a very rich world, very imaginative, and really emotional, compelling, and exciting adventure. I love Watership Down. The next one is the Wildwood Trilogy by Colin Meloy. Wildwood is mostly populated with human characters, but there are a few animal characters that take on human characteristics. For instance, there are these wolves who act as the soldiers in the Wildwood. And there are a few talking birds and just different animal characters that through having magic in their world, they have become sentient. What I love about this world is that it's so unpredictable. There's so much magical, crazy stuff happening, and yet it all really makes sense as you get to know the world of the Wildwood and understand how the magic works. Then it all fits together really well. Next, I have 2 books by E.B. White, Stuart Little and Charlotte's Web. Stuart Little is a little mouse person, and somehow he sort of bridges these two different worlds, the world of animals and the world of humans. So humans can't like talk to other animals, but Stuart can. And other animals can't talk to humans, but Stuart can. It's almost like he's part one and part the other. This is never quite explained. But this is an adorable, just very whimsical children's story about a little mouse trying to make it in a human world. I've reread Stuart Little over and over, and I'm just always so charmed by the story. Because he's so tiny, he has some difficulty trying to live in a human house and go to school and things like normal human children would do. But he's so clever and resourceful in how he overcomes those obstacles. It's always a fun read. And of course, Charlotte's Web is about a lot of farm animals, most notably Wilbur the pig, and of course, Charlotte the spider, who become close, fast friends. And then when Wilbur is going to be, killed and eaten, they have to figure out a way to save him. I really love the sort of barnyard politics almost that go on with the different relationships between different animals and how they view their role in the farmyard. I especially love Charlotte's character because she is so patient and kind and compassionate. She is that steady wisdom that everyone else in the book looks up to. Then I have Mrs. Frisbie and the Rats of Nim. Mrs. Frisbie is a simple country mouse. When her children are in danger, she asks for help from the Rats of Nim, who are extremely intelligent, and so she goes to them hoping that they can help her to save her children. There's lots of adventure and mystery and history behind the rats, and their supreme intelligence. It's a wonderful adventure, and it's so whimsical and imaginative and fun, and yet there are some darker elements in there as well that make it feel like there's a lot of deep themes. The next one is Hugh Lofting's Dr. Doolittle series. Of course, while other people cannot talk to the animals in the Dr. Doolittle series, Dr. Doolittle himself has learned to speak the language of animals. And so when you read the books, you get to hear all the dialogue that the doctor has with each of the animals. I love how imaginative every single one of these books is. They always take you to some crazy, wild, outlandish place that you just never would have imagined. The doctor travels to the jungles, and he travels under the sea, and he travels to islands, and sometimes his adventures are right there in the little town of Puddleby. There are actually 3 books in this series that deal almost exclusively with Dr. Doolittle's adventure as he journeys to the moon, and he learns to speak to the animals that live on the moon. Always something new and fun with the Dr. Doolittle books. And my last one is The Rescuers by Marjorie Sharp. I forget how many books there are in the Rescuers series. I want to say it's 12 or 13. There's quite a lot of them. I love books about mice, I think because they're so small and cute, and I really love stories about like the underdog, using their resourcefulness and their intelligence, and they find these clever little solutions. Because they're so small, they have to rely on brains instead of brawn. And the Rescuers are definitely like that. Now I will say, if you've seen the Rescuers Disney movie, this is not like that at all. The Rescuers books are completely different. I just love Bernard and Miss Bianca, and there's actually a 3rd mouse that joins their team called Nils, and the 3 of them go on these fantastic adventures. And I have 2 honorable mentions. I have The Cricket in Times Square, which is just a very charming, old-fashioned, really sweet story about a little cricket that is looking for a home. And I also have Poppy, which is another one about mice, because I love stories about mice. Poppy's family are being terrorized by an owl, and she is the only one with enough courage and cleverness to be able to save her family. So those are some of my favorite books with animals as the main characters. Please leave me a comment down below and let me know what is one of your favorite books with animal characters. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, and remember, the right book in the right hands at the right time can change the world.